Pleased to be joined by Oiler head coach Corey Allen as the Oilers come off a unique game, but a game that saw them post a 40-25 win over the Setters of Pace University. And Coach, I guess that's the first and most important thing is you got that taste of the loss last week out of your mouth with the win today.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think you say as coaches, you drive anywhere and travel anywhere just to win a football game, and we certainly did that today in unique fashion. But it felt good to get on the right side of the other column this week.
Unique game, of course, and not just because of a 3-hour weather delay, but talk a little bit about that. Certainly had to give your team some challenges in regards to being ready to come back out when you could.
Well, I think one of the biggest concerns you have as coaches is what's going on as far as adjustments and changes during that delay. How do you handle it? What's too much? As far as keeping the guys locked in and feeding them. I mean, geez, we had and hats off to Pace. They helped us out with a vehicle. We went to Subway because our guys had eaten at 7:30 in the morning with pregame meal. We had some adversity in this trip because the one bridge was out, and so we ate even earlier than usual. And so we had Subway delivered to those guys, and they ate right there. And so there were a lot of challenges, but I think the best part about it was the way that we came back out as a team. I mean, it's a young season, but even after that break, I think you saw a complete team effort, offense, defense, and special teams. It was noticeably different than what you saw before the delay, and that was encouraging.
Well, let's talk about the beginning. You guys jump out to a 17-0 lead, a touchdown pass from Bornhorst to Nielsen, I believe it was, and then the touchdown run by Alec, and then the field goal. You seem to have things going your way pretty well.
Yeah, things were looking good at that point, but as has been our past and something we want to certainly try to eradicate, we do things the hard way, and every now and again we make some mistakes that beat ourselves, and turnovers. I mean, are always the tail of the tape. It's hard to win a football game if you lose the turnover battle. It is an uphill climb for sure. And we got in a rut there where we turned it over a couple times, when we put our defense in some challenging positions. And that's something that we need to work on eliminating as we move forward.
Well, you talked about it there. You had a sequence where you were driving again, pass intercepted, but your defense turned a negative into a positive because they were able to come up with that safety. Correct, and that's that's the bail you out aspect of selfless team football. But we always talk about wanting to play that complementary football, which we saw, when we came back out from the weather delay. Where, and again, there was one play that was a 3rd and 9, but the defense was on the field first, and they got a 3 and out, and then offensively, they went for the fake punt and then bang. And we answered, and that was so satisfying to see, and that's more of obviously what we want as we go move forward. Alec Bornhorst, probably one of the more unique stat lines that any Findlay quarterback has ever had. 17 of 27 for 215, a touchdown, the 3 interceptions we talked about, but he also rushed for 3 touchdowns and 71 yards on 8 carries. And then to really cap it off, he throws in a touchdown reception as well from 31 yards out. Certainly showed some ability to do some different things.
Yeah, I mean, I'd ask you, have you ever seen a stat line like that out of our quarterback?
No.
Neither have I. And win by any means necessary. And I think some of the things that we talked about before in their multiple coverages and things like that, they were playing a lot of man coverage. They were putting 8 and 9 guys in the box. And when they do that, the only way that you can add the additional hat is by the quarterback run. And so we needed to utilize that, and even such things as a throwback to him, again, in man coverage. Those things become very difficult to defend. And what they were doing is a really good job of bottling up our running game. In general, that traditional style of snap, catch by the quarterback, hand it off, right? So we had to use some different measures to move the football. And all in all, Alec competed. He could have kept his head down, but the son of a gun went out there and competed and rallied a football team around him in the face of adversity, and we're proud of him for that.
25 points given up between it, but some unique situations. You kind of alluded to it a little bit with the turnovers, but then you also had the block punt, which watching that one play itself out, that certainly was unique. I've never seen Oilers special teams attack that way. Yeah, I thought that they decided, and it was very obvious as the game went on. I mean, there was so many factions that were at play, right? Our hands team was out there, our punt team, we saw an onside kick, 2-point conversion, just a lot of different things going on, and then they obviously brought the block. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, points are points given up on the Oilers, not just the Oiler or special teams, but there was a miscue there, and they got the block, and they had a lot of momentum at that point. So I give our guys credit for staving that off down the stretch.
I thought the defense looked really good most of the day, despite those 25 points. Your defense records, I think it's 9 tackles for loss, including 3 sacks of the quarterback in there. And as you pointed out early, several 3-and-outs or very short drives for them. Defense through 2 weeks is looking very solid.
Those guys run to the football, and they believe in what we're doing. They know what we're doing, and they run to the football, and they play with the proper amount of violence, that you need to play that type of football. And they're certainly a group that continues to grow each week, but we really like where they're at 2 weeks into the season.
All right, Coach, you're back on the road next week after you eventually get home after all those delays and everything, and it'll be Lake Erie College who posted the win today.
Yeah, we may just drive right to Painesville and find a spot to grab something to eat and get ready to play next week by the time we get back here from Pleasantville, New York. But yeah, we're gonna head up there next week and enjoy our week of prep and get ready to go, prepared to earn the opportunity to win a football game.
Well, I know I call Painesville the garden spot of northeastern Ohio, but I don't think you want to spend the whole week there, Coach. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Go Oilers.
Go Oilers. Thank you, Tim.